Kamuya, CEO, International Renaissance Center, an international best-selling author, a speaker, and a coach. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, the connection is going off. I hope it's welcome. Welcome. Let me know if you are connected. The connection showed me it's going off. Okay, I think it's okay. Welcome, welcome. Today I want to look at the lessons I learned from working from home. If you're planning to work from home, what are the expectations? What should you look out for? What should you prepare yourself? Or what should you look for? And how do you go about it? Because I think one of the comments that I had, let me see the comments that I had from somebody from yesterday's video. This is what they said. Let's see what they said. Let me share with you what they said so that at least we can look at that and maybe ask ourselves whether we are on the right track or not. Okay, so this is what they asked. This is the comment they made, and I think it's relevant, and you too could be asking the same thing. So what or how do you go about this? I think she asked, I need a job. I have been following your wonderful contributions. How can you help me find a job and work from home or at an office? I think one of the things that you need to understand, if you are going to work from home, you need to prepare yourself for that. What do I mean by preparation? Because one of the things that I had to do is to identify an area in the house where I could set up my office, or where I could have something that would look like an office. Now, what am I talking about? I'm talking about a desk, a chair. That's what you need to start with, because if you don't identify where your office will be, then people will not know that you are in the office at that particular time. If you're going to sit where you normally sit, are you going to concentrate? Are you going to be focused? Are you going to be serious about working? So you identify a place where you can set up your desk, your chair. That is very key, because when you identify, when you set up that, and that is the first thing that you need to do, you'll be able to notice there's a difference, and there's a difference in your mind when you sit there and you start operating. Because when you sit there, it means it's time for business. So you need an area. Set an area and determine, this is where I'll be working from. If you set up that area, you are going to find yourself getting busy and getting serious. So number one is to find an area. Going back to the photo again, I want you to notice there is a place where I set up, and you will notice with this space, I had a space for my chair, I had a space for my printer, my screen, I had a telefax, I had the internet connected, and you can see my diary is there. So ideally, do you have a desk and a chair to start with? You might not have the laptop, you might not have the computer, but do you have a desk where you can sit? You have, I'm sure, and you can get a diary. If you can't, you can get a notebook where you can write what you will be doing. A diary is good because then it helps you plan day to day what you'll be doing. So if you have a desk and if you have a chair, then you can put it somewhere where you'll be able to sit at the designated time, which you'll identify. I'll work from 9 to 4, or I'll work from 10 to 4, I'll work from 8 to 5, depending on you. You determine the time which is also very important, because if you are going to have to work from home, you've got to have some kind of discipline in terms of the things that you'll do and not do, because you want to operate as if you are in the office, and that will be your office setup. So you need time, and you to set that time, so when you wake up, when you're sitting there, you are actually on the office. What else did I learn? Because I learned many things. I might not be able to cover everything, but I'll give you a short summary of how my day would look like, and what I would do during that time. What else did I learn? One of the other things that I learned how to communicate over technology. And what do I mean by this? Because technology is here. It's not only about calling on the phone, because that might be very, very expensive for you. So it means you need internet connection. And if you have good internet connection, right now we are living in times when there's too many applications that you can use for communication, for conferences, for so many things. What do you, or what application are you able to use? At that time, we used to have something called Skype. So I knew how to work with Skype, and Skype allowed me to have a video call to the person that I needed to speak to. It was easier and it was cheaper, and we could be able to communicate and share information. So if you don't know how to use Skype, please go Google, download or read about Skype and get to know about it, because it's still working even today. There are people I work with online using Skype, because I still work a lot with a lot of people around the world using Skype. In fact, I think one of my training last year we did via Skype. So you can use Skype. Currently with Google, if you're using Gmail, they have introduced something called Google Hangouts. So you can also check out on your email. On the left hand side, you will find Google Hangout. It also allows you to do a video call, and you can use that too to share screens. You don't know what sharing screens means? Then go find out what does Google Hangouts do, and I'll be able to get somebody in the coming days to share more, to show you how to use some of these applications, because you are going to need them. And currently we also have something called Zoom. So if you are not using Google Hangout Skype, you can go Google out and see whether you can download Zoom. With Zoom, it's got many features. They have the free, like if it's your first time to use, you can just go download Zoom application and find out how do you use Zoom. Currently, I'm using Zoom for most of my meetings. I'm able to share the screen. We are able to talk about what I'm doing, which means I can, if I was on Zoom right now, which is now able to work with Facebook, I would be able to share my screen with you, and you can see what I am doing if I was demonstrating a report, a presentation, or any work that needed to be done. So if you're going to work from home, you are going to need to learn. You are going to need to open your mind on different ways to work. So if you are not using any of this, then it's time to look for information and to learn more about them. Please make sure you are learning about them. And thank you so much for joining. Make sure you are learning about these applications, because you are not going to be working online or from a remote site without you understanding how to use this. In the last 2 years, we've actually trained assistants on how to use some of these applications, which we found they needed in their work. So if you don't know how to use Zoom, if you don't know how to use Skype, if you don't know how to use Google Hangouts, it's time for you to start looking into that. And there are many others that you need to learn, especially if you're working with teams and if you're working with others. You might want to look at what applications do I need so that I'm able to work with others, I'm able to share files with others. There is so much, and I say in the coming days I will have somebody to share more on that. Another thing that you will need, because once you know how to communicate with others that are on a remote site, then you need good networking skills, because you are going to work with people you are not seeing or people who are so far. So you need to up your skills in terms of networking so that you can find people who can help you in areas that you could be not good. Like in this case, you don't know what Skype is all about. Then you need somebody who knows Skype, who can help you to get up to speed with such a skill. Working from home, I said earlier, needs a lot of discipline in terms of now it's time to work, now it's time to have tea, now it's time for lunch, now it's time to end the day. I think the hardest was in the evening, when now it seems like because the other people have been in the office, now they've gone off. Now it's my time to see what have they been able to do. So I had to schedule 1 hour after the normal working hours so that I would look at what needed to be done in preparation for the following day. So you need that discipline to set on that time, so that you say at this time I will stop working. So I would stop working at 1 hour after. Then I've seen some photos, people sending photos around of working from home is hard. Yeah, who said it's going to be easy? Is it any easier in the offices? Just like in the offices you have interruptions, in the same way at home, especially when you have children, you'll have a different set of interruptions. In the office, you have your colleagues, you have your friends, you have your bosses, you have your juniors, you have everyone coming to you. At home, you've got the children, the house help, your spouse, your family, your friends. And I know one thing that I learned, they would always ask when they came, especially for the children, they would say, "Mommy, are you still in the office?" And I say, "Yes, I'm still in the office." They know they don't need to disturb me, that there's a time I'll set for them. So you have to set those boundaries and those time limits. That's why it's so important to know what are the times. So I'll make sure by the time they're coming back from school, then they know I've got about an hour I will be with them, so that we can sit down and do the homework or listen to what they have to say. That has to be there. So don't give yourself the excuse that at home you've got children. Even in the office, you've got your colleagues, your friends, and name it, they still come and distract you. So it's up to you to have some discipline. So I was having my children, I was having my friends, they were coming. There's a time I was breastfeeding, and I had to say, okay, when the baby cries, I have to stop and go. So I want you to think in line with the same distractions you have in the office. How do you manage those distractions? How do you manage to move from one thing to another without saying, this is the excuse why I'm not doing this? Use the same strength if that is your strength, or use the same strategy if that is your strategy to manage these distractions. They will be there, and you cannot dismiss any of those things because you need them in your life. Because sometimes maybe you have a distraction that can help you refocus, re-energize, get out of a situation where you feel stressed out. The same way. So the kids, the spouses, the dogs, if you have dogs, the cats, they are part of it. Just allow yourself and find ways to work with that, because they can't go away and you need them. So incorporate all of them. So my typical day when I was working at home, most of the time is that when the kids would leave at 7, and I would set myself, either I can start working at 7 if I was set for the day, or I would set my day to start working at 8. And normally I would break for lunch around 1 or 2, and I would make sure by 5, because on every day I made sure I do my exercise. If it's a walk or if it's the gym, I still would go. I would have, if I had a meeting, especially out of the office where I would have the meetings, then I set them between 11 and 1, so that can go in with lunch if I wanted to break. But ideally, I make sure the morning, and that's the best time to do most of the work. I would have my morning at the office. It was the best productive time. You can have your own schedule that works for you. You can also work with day to day, because some people would set aside days and say, Tuesday is my meeting day, and then you have Tuesday as your meeting day. Or you can say, Wednesday is my meeting day, or Wednesday is the day I don't work at all, or Wednesday is the day I work on reports. It's up to you. What works for you might not work for me, because now I discover as I work in the offices, I try to schedule my day like morning I want to do, but you can get in the morning and find something that came up that you didn't anticipate, and you've got to handle it if it is very, very urgent. So it's up to you to plan your day. Don't let anyone plan for you. Plan your day and accommodate the things that crop up during the day. That is what is called managing your time, and ensuring that everybody around you understand you are in the office. With time, it will not happen immediately. With time, they will understand you are in the office, and they will ask, are you in the office? Can you see me? Do you have some time? And then you can decide whether you'll see them. They'll even come and see you in the office. That happened so many times. They would come and say, oh, you are busy, you are concentrating, you're in the office. I say, yes, I'm in the office. I need to finish this by 2 o'clock, or in the next 30 minutes. Can you give me a few minutes? And they would wait, even if it was at home. So it is you to actually show them how it will work, and you will discover, they will learn. In fact, with my kids, they know. Even when I'm home, if I sit on the desk, because I still have an office set up at home, they know it is time for mommy to work. We cannot disturb, and they know it's time to work. But that doesn't mean that I will ignore them. I'll have time for them. Now, you are asking me if somebody was asking me, now if we don't work in the office, how else can we work away from like a desk? You have your phone, yeah? You are having one of the most powerful gadgets of our time, your phone. It could be a smartphone. This thing, it is well loaded with a lot of things that you can do. You could say, I don't have a laptop, I don't have a desktop, I don't have a tablet, but still you've got a gadget that can help you. Okay, so if you've got this gadget, are you going to use it? Because still it has everything that you need, that you can use. If it is researching, you can still do research. If it's getting into your emails, you can still get to your emails. If it is let me see, I think in fact with your emails, actually Google, they've really done us great, because they normally now allow us to even schedule meetings. Yeah, you can schedule your meetings. You can see my meeting is scheduled, so I have a meeting. You can see, you can schedule your meetings using your Google, so it's bringing and incorporating a lot of things, so you have no excuse why you shouldn't work from home. What I'm asking you to have is an open mind with an open mind, especially towards learning what your phone is having. If you have an open mind, you're going to be surprised how much you're going to learn, and you're going to be surprised what you can do, and you're going to be surprised that you can actually do it. Now, maybe the part I've not touched is you're asking, now here are the tools, I have them, or I know what to do. How do I now get the jobs? I think one of the things that I've noticed in the time I've been streaming the videos is that a lot of people, they watch and they're quiet, and maybe somebody within is looking for somebody with a particular skill. Why do I bring this up? Because when you show up and when you maybe give feedback, like in this case, the person who has asked the question, somebody is looking for them, and if they say, I've got skills in presentation, report writing, I can help you with typing or data entry, and somebody within has been looking for somebody to do this work, then I'm sure they will get in touch with them. Visibility is what I'm talking about. How do you create visibility for yourself so that you are able to get the work that you want? It is by ensuring you talk about the skill that you have. In this case, I don't know what skill you have. You know better what skill you have, and someone could be looking for it. And in any case, there are so many that are posted online on various locations on websites where you can get opportunities to work. If you're a graphic designer, if you're a report writer, if you're a data entry, if you know how to do the research, there are so many people looking for people to do this work. And it's interesting that right now they are looking and sourcing for these people from our continent, Africa. So use that phone, okay, your smartphone, Google and find out. You know your skills better. Present yourself. If you don't present yourself, nobody knows. That is it. That is why it is so important for you to show up. If you show up, you'll be surprised somebody is looking for you, and if they're looking for you, you'll find each other. Without showing up, nobody knows what you do. So make sure when you are showing up, you also let others know what you do, and that way it will help you to find some work, and you can work from home. And when you work from home, I want to remind you, one of the things that you're going to find is that you're going to have a lot of discipline, because the people currently successful online, they work with timelines. They work with timelines, and that's how they're making their money. So if you know how to work with timelines, then you are good to go, and you will be able to be successful, because people are looking for people who can do the job and do it well, do it within certain timelines. Opportunities are everywhere. So if you are still shy and not sure, and you want to get opportunities, they might never find you. So get time and look for those opportunities. I still say opportunities are surrounding us, so many of them. If only we have an open mind, and if we are ready to learn. If you are ready to learn, you are going to get the opportunities. So take advantage of that and be ready to learn. And if you are ready to learn, make sure you also show up, and show up in a way that people know you. So now you are paying attention, and now you know it's your time to be the person you are meant to be. We are going on a journey that you're going to enjoy. So if that is you, and you feel you are ready, then I'm sure the opportunities will open up for you. If you are still wondering, and if you are still not sure, if you are still shy, I'm telling you, nobody is gonna play your part. You've got to play your part. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that I have prepared you psychologically so that as you go on this lockdown, quarantine, isolation, whatever name you are using, where you are, you feel it is another time for you to take a new direction for your life. And for you, this opportunity is there for you to reflect, to rethink, to strategize. If the opportunities ahead of you, you've fully taken advantage of them. If you have not, what you can start thinking about. I believe in you, and I know one thing: if you are visible, they will find you. And with that said, I want to say thank you so much for joining me. Those who've joined me, I hope you've learned. I hope that you're taking the next steps forward. I look forward to talking to you. If you've got comments, questions, feel free. And if you want to share, please feel free to share. Make your comments below, and I'll see you next time. Until then, goodbye, and start thinking. What will you do today to get ready to work from home?